Well, welcome y'all. Thank you so much for coming out. You know, you guys have been around for a while, and you keep rocking with the real estate here. Why don't you give a little background for people that don't know you and why you decided to join, and just a little bit about yourself.
All right. My name is Mike Tucker. I joined about, 2015, 2016, sometime around there. And I had done some self-employment or little small things after getting out of the military. And,
What branch were you?
The Air Force.
Oh, Chair Force. Okay. That's cool.
And, but with a lot of education and self-reading and reading things like the books and stuff, there were people along the way that always pointed back at real estate and said, doing this and doing that and opening up your own shop is a great way. But I think what they were highlighting was the independent-dependent kind of model that we are here. And so it really began for me typing right into Google search bar, real estate mentor, San Antonio. And that's exactly how it started for me. And actually
You were IT, or what were you?
Yeah, I'm in the IT. Yeah, I'm full of it.
He's a nerd like you.
And that's what, snowballed, joining and finding out about the Lifestyles program, but 6-7 years ago now. So
That's
What
awesome.
does Sarah do?
Yeah, what about your lovely wife?
Sarah, I'm a landscape architect here in town. Been doing it for 14 years at this point, and I feel like I just graduated college. And what was really funny about this is that literally as long as I've known Mike, he's always talked about owning real estate. It's just been something that he's just brought up occasionally. So when he came to me and said, hey, I found this group that does like real estate mentor stuff, I was like, well, of course you did. Like, it was like a no-brainer. Like, I knew at some point we were going to do something. And then he's like, hey, it's this group, and they do this, and yada, yada, yada. He starts telling me more, and I was like, oh, pump the brakes there. Hang on. And I was a little skeptical at first because I was like, who are these people? Who's this guy?
Slow down, Ginger.
Yeah, it was like, whoa. And so it took a road trip up to see his parents in the DFW, that like 5-hour road trip. I grilled him for about 2.5 of those 5 hours, and I was like, okay, this checks out. Like, it sounds legit. And so I was like, all right, let's baby step into it. And baby steps ended up kind of being like galloping into it, but it's worked out so far.
That's awesome.
So.
And you have one of the toughest jobs on the planet, which is you're a mom, and you have a brand new baby, right? How old? 11 months old?
He's 11 weeks old.
11 weeks, excuse
Today,
me, sorry.
yes.
Weeks.
That's him up there with his big brother the day he came home. So he was a surprise baby. He came 5 weeks early, spent 11 days in the NICU. And he's doing great.
And
So.
Tucker, what'd you say? You said, we said, do you feel bad, or was that tough leaving? You're like, nope, I'm on, I get a break, right, or something like that.
Oh, he was
tonight?
asking about tonight.
Oh, yeah, tonight. No, great.
Was
no.
it tough
Get a
leaving
nice
the
break.
kids at home?
Absolutely
Yeah,
not.
It's good.
Love them. Love having breaks, too. So.
Well, that's awesome. Well, guys, so we're going to talk about one of your properties. I'm having a tough time here. Okay. So tell us about this property. By the way, first off, where did you buy it from? Was it from one of our realtors?
That's right. So this came out on an email blast from Trey.
That guy over there.
Stand up so they know who you are.
Guy looks like a 1990s grunge hippie.
No, he
Huh?
looks like an Amish guy. He got all his suspenders, his needle hosing out in his car.
Oh, wow. You're looking great, bro. He likes to ride bikes, too. He wears a lot of spandex. Did you know that?
He has pictures of me.
Yeah.
We
To
don't
avoid
wanna
the chafing.
Leave that
That's what
right
they
there.
do. Just so you know. Hey. Oh, sorry. All right. Hey, could I just point out a shout out to our realtors? I think we got a few in the room. Do you guys want to just recognize yourself here? They're the ones that find our members. They're right back here. Yeah, and you're a multifamily. Yes, I'm Russ. Yeah, nice to meet you, Russ. Yeah. So we got multifamily back here. We got single family over here, and they're just a few of them. We got a ton of them, and they are the ones who find these properties and give them to you on a silver platter. So that's pretty cool. So yeah, what about this property? Tell us a little bit about it.
Let's see. So this property came up. It's over in Denver Heights. A neighborhood that I really wasn't familiar with, but once I saw the email blast, I kind of looked it up and was asking Trey about it. And it's kind of up and coming neighborhood, and it really is just on its way up and up. And so when you get into a property now, it looks like an upward trajectory of the rest of the neighborhood.
So I want you guys that are new, look at the pictures on the left. That looks like Grandma's house, right?
Why didn't you
You know,
keep
dated
that?
from the 70s, and look at the ones on the right. See the night and day difference?
Yeah, it was literally yellow when you walked in. It was like this ambiance of just yellow, old.
Wow. Yeah, why not? That's cool. Well, awesome. And so, was it kind of a light rehab or a heavier rehab? What would you say?
No, that one was just remodeling the bathrooms and mostly cosmetic. After that, the unit or the house didn't have AC, so it was more. Some of the big ticket items were more electrical, getting in a brand new AC system.
Okay.
But while we were doing this unit, we knew that the house next door was mid-construction and the neighbor had abandoned it during mid-construction. And we don't know necessarily the reason why. I think he just maybe ran out of money. We didn't know the why. We just knew it was in a state that we knew it was going to become available. So they tried to sell literally the house next door while we're mid-construction on this first one. They tried to sell it on the MLS for full price, even though he had already started ripping out walls and stuff like that, and it never happened. So we wound up, or Trey found out that it was coming back available through wholesale, and we were able to just gobble up the house literally next door while we were in the middle of the one.
So you have Baltic and Mediterranean.
Well, and he's leaving out the best part because there was some back and forth about, oh, well, I don't know about the price. And Mike semi-jokingly said, well, if he lowers it X amount, we'll take it. And Trey said, sold. And we were literally driving, and he said, I think we just bought another house.
That's right. It really was because we
Well
walked,
done, Trey.
we walked through it. This is literally, it was like I walked through it and go, well, I think the price is okay, but if he lowers it by 7-8, he called the wholesaler and said, if you lower by 8,000, you have a buyer right now. And then literally a few seconds later, got a text message back from Trey, sold. I was like, oh shit, I gotta tell my wife. Well, honey, I think we just bought another house. And that's literally how I broke the news.
While I was, 7 months pregnant?
Oh yeah, while we
With
had a
baby
baby on the
number
way.
two?
Yeah, your timing's right there, Tucker.
Perfect.
It's not the first time that's happened either.
So,
unfortunately.
so we bought that second house next door, and it was mid-construction, right? So there's like no kitchen, no cabinets, missing walls. I mean, the AC system was shot. The roof was bad. Like, the foundation was bad. I mean, this one needed
So the guy was really good at starting the project.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he was very good. And so there's also sneaky things that come up during it.
Yep.
And so, like, pipes were broken under the foundation and stuff like that. So the trick is, and this is the number one thing I think I learned from David, is when you buy right, you make your money when you buy.
Yep.
Okay? I know you realize your money when you sell, but you make your money when you buy right.
If you don't buy it low enough, you're not going to have that wiggle room. So, yeah, buying right's key.
Oh, yeah.
And a first-timer's not going to do a big fixer-upper like this, but he has more experience now. So.
Right.
Yeah, we'd prefer you do like a base hit for your first one, but.
Well, probably like house number 15 for us. I mean, after selling and
Right.
and buying and selling and buying, and so we've used that money. People might actually ask, like, well, you're 7 years into this. How come you're not further along? How come you only own 6-7 properties, right? Well, I mean, the honest answer is life gets in the way. I mean, we've had kids. We've decided our personal choice was to pay off other debts instead of snowballing this money. We just made a personal choice to use the money instead of snowballing.
Hey, stop 550 KTSA. You can't listen to Dave Ramsey anymore.
And there was just certain decisions along the way where we decided, like we just made 80K. So are we going to put it into 3 more properties, or are we going to make our lives a little bit easier by doing X, Y, and Z, or maybe invest in our house and upgrade certain things inside our house? And so those,
So Mama wanted some nicer things.
it all comes
And that
down
will
to,
slow you down, people. I'm being real.
Well, I mean, let's be honest, it did slow us down a little bit, but
Yeah.
those were
You're
personal
still doing
choices.
great, though.
We're still doing great, and we're still growing strong.
Yeah, it slowed us down, but it definitely didn't stop us. It's all a part of it. We didn't expect to be going 100 miles an hour the entire time. It's just,
Okay.
We could have.
yeah, sure, we could have. We definitely could have, but,
Well, let's talk about your numbers on this deal.
Yeah. There's 2 of them.
You can look at the big screen if you can't see that all the way over there. See, no,
Look
look,
at the,
look to your right. See how big it is?
Nice.
That one's much bigger
Actually,
than
I
that
just
one.
got LASIK about a month ago, so I can
Oh, so you can actually read
just
that.
fine.
Look at you. You got
So you
20,
can see ships
2015
10 miles out in the
now.
ocean now.
So we bought this one for $125. The first one, which was what we called on the slides they say Rain Tree here, but I think there was it was River Tree was the street. But
That's
anyway,
okay. Close enough.
so we call this the house on the right. We bought this for 125. The rehab was about 35. I think it kind of stretched up into the 35, 38 area. By the time we got the loan and everything, it was really just the amount of money out of our pocket was only about $25K.
Okay.
Which is on par for what kind of some of the stuff we're seeing blasted.
Yep.
Maybe this is a little bit on the lower end, or 25 to 35 kind of normally, than what we see on email blasts.
But see, they made their money when they buy. So in other words, they bought this way below market value. They had to do a fixer-upper, but they paid contractors to do all the work. But they have 33,000 equity. So if you invest 25 grand, you can get back your 25 grand and an extra 33 grand on top of it. Who'd like to do that?
Yes.
So even if they sold it a year later, they made 134% return. Who'd be okay with that? You're probably not making it in your stupid 401k IRA TSP, right?
Right.
The cash flow is pretty juicy too. Over over
I
450.
I was skeptical when Trey was saying, "Hey, you can get X amount of rent for this," and I'm like, "In this neighborhood?" And so I decided to just say, "Hey, shit, I'll go for it." And
That's a technical term. Hey, what?
yeah, let's go for it. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, okay, the reason why we were able to easily come to the decision of let's go for it is because of our past history. I can tell you honestly, straight up, face to face, that in all the 7 years that we've been renting and buying and doing these properties, we've never probably gone more than 10 days looking for a tenant.
Right.
And that's probably the question we get asked all the time. That's always asked is like,
What
what
if
if
you
you
can't
can't
find
find
a
a tenant?
Yeah, we hear people say that, but the truth is, guys, if you follow what I teach you guys, best product, best price, you will attract the best people every single time at a particular price point because their stuff looks beautiful. The other guys are out there with orange carpets and green, toilets from the 70s and pea yellow, countertops.
That's right.
Their stuff
Yeah.
looks, golden.
Yeah, and I think Dave had mentioned, we're not slumlords. We're not trying to put out a really lowball, product. And, one of the things when we were deciding to get into it is I told him before I had even ever heard anything Dave said is I was like, we're not going to do that. We're not going to put out crappy, rehabs. We're going to make sure these are decent places to live because I don't know about y'all, but I was raised do unto others as you
Right.
have done unto you. And so I'm going, if I was in a situation where I couldn't afford my own home and I had to rent, I would want my landlord to be a decent person and give me a decent place to live. So I'm definitely going to give those to other people.
And it's funny-
That is my major thing. Is I'm like, we're not
Yeah.
going to do any of this bottom of the barrel stuff.
Yeah, and
So-
if you look at our rentals, they look nicer than our own homes. Actually, a lot of them. You know what I mean?
Sometimes they
they have
do.
nicer
Sometimes
sinks
they
than we
do.
have.
Yeah,
Especially when you look at the sinks here in the picture coming up.
Yeah.
We got some really nice deal on sinks.
We've done a couple of things in some of our properties that I'm kind of going, can we do that at home? Because I really like that. So
Okay, let's quickly talk about the second one next door.
Okay.
That so this one we bought even cheaper because it was in the middle of that state of being torn up, and I'm glad we did because we found out things along the way and we were able to have wiggle room. But it's actually a little bit bigger, so it appraised a little bit higher. And definitely the rehab was much bigger. We're pushing up near 50K rehab here for 1,200 square foot house.
Wow. Yeah.
And so you can imagine how much work had to be done to get this.
But now
this happening.
everything's new, no headaches, warranties.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, don't be scared. I mean, eventually you'll get comfortable with a 50K, 60K rehab. But remember, only thing that is out of my pocket was $20-something thousand.
Yeah. So in other words, just so you know, if you're new and you don't understand this, these specialized lenders are going to lend him all the money to buy the property, plus all the money to fix it up. He didn't have to come up with the money, that extra 50K to fix it up. They lent him all that. I want you to understand. I'll teach you how to do that this weekend. But and in the end, is the total money that he had to come up with was 28 grand. Just so you understand. But off that 28 grand, guys, he instantly captured 36,000 equity. That means another 100. So 2 deals in a row, you made 100% return. Are you starting to get why the real estate's good? Are you making that with your 401k? This mutual fund, this mutual fund. You make 100%, 100%, 100%. Is that not life changing? Huge numbers. Plus, every year he's making 20%. 2 deals in a row, 20%, 20%, tax deferred, never pay taxes again.
This is another strong cash flow one too, over 450 per month.
Yeah.
That's right. It was 100 square foot bigger than the other one, and Trey said, "We'll rent for $100 more." And I'm like, "Just for 100 square feet more?" And he's like, "Yeah, go for it." And I said, "Okay, well, no shit, we'll do it." And
He's pretty smart for an agent.
I think it took, like 3 days to get a renter in there? Something crazy like that?
yeah, we had 2 days of people coming and walking the property, and actually on the third day we had a video conference from somebody that was moving
Not
in
in
from
town,
Abilene,
right, yeah.
and they were moving into San Antonio, and so we just got on FaceTime, and I
And what
moved
did
my
they do for a
camera
living?
around.
Do you remember?
I think he was an oil field guy or something, and he was
Okay.
coming back to be a car mechanic or something.
Okay, cool.
But anyway, yeah, here we go. Look at our
So
portfolio.
here's your portfolio.
Yeah. Pretty good. So annually you're getting what, 46,000 almost a year in just cash flow. It's
Yeah.
pretty sweet.
And that might be the same as $60,000 or $70,000 a year job. Is that pretty good in a couple of years? Give him a hand. Not bad, right?
It's awesome.
But look at this.
That's
They have
gigantic.
$390,000 in equity. Do you guys start with $390,000?
No.
And
Do
actually,
you remember? I don't know if you want to share this because I share all my numbers.
I'm wide open.
Well, okay, Tucker, how much money did you and your wife start with to get up to 390 grand? Do you remember how much it
When
was?
we started,
Yeah, remember when you
I
first
think
started?
you were making about 50, and I was making
I was
about
probably making less than 50.
70 or 80.
I was probably making
No,
about
not what you're making.
43.
How much money do you
Yeah.
have to invest with that you started?
Oh, we had no money. Well, I guess we had
So-
$18,000 in our 401k.
Well, and we went about it in kind of a funky way. We sold our house, bought a fourplex, and moved into one of those units.
Right, I remember that.
yeah.
And so that was our
But he
way.
was asking
yeah,
how
so-
much
And
money
that's the
did
strategy
we
I
have?
teach young people.
Yeah, so
Live
I
in
mean,
one, rent the other three out. The
that
one renter
helped
pays the
us.
mortgage, the other two are profit. So you're living for free
Right.
now.
Yeah, back when we started, we weren't making as
mean-
much as we know now. But the only money we had set aside was $18,000 in our 401k, and we liquidated that
Mm-hmm.
to make
And you had
our,
equity in your house too, right?
no.
No. So look, they start pretty much with 20 grand and turn to 380 grand. Is that not life changing?
Yeah.
Give him a hand. That's huge, guys. That's huge.
Yeah, it was a big mental hurdle to liquidate the 401k because like, oh, that's my 18k nest egg.
Yeah. It's like, this is all my money.
Are you
then,
glad you did it now?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Drank the Kool-Aid.
And one thing
Okay,
that's
Flavor Aid. You can't say, well, it was Flavor Aid. Jonestown. Never mind.
one thing that's hidden in that summary though is several of those properties have already been cash out refied.
Oh, you pulled
Yeah.
money out of them.
So the equity is
Right.
a lot lower in that slide because I've already taken the money out.
Okay, so he's talking about strategy. I teach you.
Wow, that's
You know
cool.
that
If you get a
over two
loan
of those
against the
properties?
property and you pull equity out, there's no taxes. Well, he did. He sold
Yes.
some.
Yeah.
this
Yeah, and you've sold some. We are not even
this
counting that.
my
Uh,
current portfolio is 6-7 houses. We've probably bought about 12 or 13 along the way.
Yeah, in the last year or so, we've sold two properties. I
And we
think.
sell 2 or 3 a year.
2 or 3. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
But
Those are way
hold
understated,
it for
basically.
3 to 5 years, just like Dave taught.
Yeah.
And I think somebody in here, I want to echo the previous presenter said, if you remodel it right with nice, good, clean and functional, good stuff, you don't get calls from tenants. We
Right.
do our own
Yeah.
property. We do not do property management. So there
That's easy.
are several of our tenants. Several of them we hear from them once or twice a year when we ask for them
If
to
that.
renew.
Yeah.
So my question is, as you start making more money, who gets to quit their job first?
Probably me, but it's not a I don't want to work thing. It's not. It's
You like your job.
I actually enjoy working. I don't make as much as he does, but I enjoy working. I like knowing that the things that I design and build are serving people, and so I enjoy it. But it's really nice to know that if I wanted to quit, be a stay-at-home mom, I could do it, and it wouldn't impact us negatively. You know?
And just so you know, COVID taught every parent they don't want to do that. Okay, let's get to some questions.
Yeah, do we have any questions, anybody?
Yep.
And online?
Online?
Well, we do
All right.
we do have a few shout outs.
What's that? Trey had one.
Oh,
So
how-
repeat that. So they can
how many properties did you buy while your wife was pregnant?
4.
Whoa!
No, was it that many?
5th on the way.
Wait, no, I think it was.
Now
3.
Trey told me something because I was asking about you earlier. He said you're trying to like play Monopoly in a certain neighborhood, try to buy. Can you share that real quick?
Well, because this one we just presented, they're right next door to each other, and we found out that maybe the one on the other side of the house is going to be available, and the one across the street is going to be available. So I'd like to own the
Do you
whole
know if you
cul-de-sac.
buy all 4 of them, you could trade them in and get one of those red
Build a
things.
hotel. Yeah.
No, an apartment community.
Oh, I thought we were still talking about
Well,
the game. Yeah.
what Trey was saying is if I buy the whole cul-de-sac, maybe I could petition the city to rename the street.
Oh, yeah, Tuckerville. Oh, wait, Saraville, sorry.
Gingerville.
Yeah. All right. All right.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much. Oh, we got a
Oh, wait,
question.
we have
Yes,
a question
sir.
way back there. Let me run a microphone. Can I steal a microphone from somebody? Let me give you yours.
I haven't.
Okay.
Oh, you want to run?
Yes,
Go ahead,
where?
Carmencita.
Where am I
Run!
running to?
Run,
Where?
Navy, run!
No.
She was Navy. See, that's how you get the Navy to do stuff.
So I don't know if this is true or not, but I've heard stories that rehab type work costs 2 or 3 times what it did a couple of years ago. And even in our personal experience, we hesitated. We were going to remodel our kitchen, and we'd gotten a quote for 40. And now I just recently retired and said, okay, let's do it. The same rehab is $80,000 now.
Yeah, retail really was affected. We had lumber price go up crazy amount like 6 months ago, right?
Yeah. That's come back down, but the
lumber
the
futures
labor
dropped 50% in 1 month. So really, a 2x4 used to be like $4 last year.
Yeah.
It's about $6 right now. So it's really not that much more. I don't know if it affected their rehabs. I have like 39 of them going on right now, and across the board, really hasn't affected me majorly.
So I guess my question is do you know like people that I don't know that will do it at a more reasonable cost? Or
Ours will absolutely. You see that vendor table there? Take their cards. They're way cheaper. Now, they don't work on personal houses. They work typically on rental quality, so
Yeah.
a little bit different. If you want to do an
No,
80,000 kitchen,
I'm thinking about for rentals.
oh,
but-
for rentals,
and then also,
absolutely.
like, if you go into a place
a
and
full rehab on a bathroom is like $2,500. That's what it costs.
and the place you go in, you say, okay, all the appliances in the kitchen need to be changed out. There's a 6 to 9 month wait right now.
Yeah, that can happen, but we have different vendors that we work with, big apartment places.
So you guys
like
know
HC
ways
Supply.
around all that?
Yeah, because
Okay.
we have 600 unit apartments, so we got to get them. We figure out ways.
Yeah,
We have 50,000 members nationwide, so we
I
have
had
a
a
lot
similar experience where in a couple of rentals ago, Lowe's had just partnered with Rebath, and they said, "Well, why don't you send Rebath out here and get a quote
yeah.
to install a shower?" They wanted like $19,000 to install a shower. Okay, I went
What
to
did it cost you at Lifestyles? A
about
vendor.
$2,500.
Does 2,500 sound better than 19,000? So you see what I'm saying? There's a difference between retail, Susie Homemaker, and what we do. Okay? Great question, though. Thank you.
Yeah.
Any more questions, anybody?
All right, let's move on then. Hey, thank you so
Thank
much for
you.
giving back. Appreciate you sharing your story.